conditional expectation 3. We have already developed the theoretical basis or probabilistic basis of conditional expectation from a given probability space. And we have already seen that this additive property of conditional expectation is also true, which is the analog version of the simple expectations. Now, the natural question is, since we know that conditional expectation of sum of random variables is same as sum of conditional expectations, is it possible to derive some other theorems with respect to expectations? Can we extend those theorems in case of conditional expectation? So, that is basically the question, and if we can do that, then probably we will have a huge set of theorems and results, and we can apply them whenever we encounter anything that is related to conditional expectation or conditional probability. And a few theorems, like few important theorems in this domain, are monotone convergence theorem or dominated convergence theorem or Fatou's lemma, etc. So, today we are going to discuss and see how or whether we can at all extend conditional expectation in case of, or we can develop monotone convergence theorem or dominated convergence theorem in case of conditional expectation. So, the basic objectives is to extend. We have already seen that additivity theorem holds true for conditional expectations along with some other simple properties. But so today, so that gives us confidence to explore some more important theorems with respect to conditional expectation. So today we are going to discuss monotone convergence theorem, dominated convergence theorem, Fatou's lemma in the light of conditional or the version of these theorems for conditional expectation, and also one important inequality which is known as Jensen's inequality. We all know that monotone convergence theorem, dominated convergence theorem, Fatou's lemma, Jensen's inequality are extremely important results of theorems that are being used in many areas in probability, stochastic process and statistics to prove numerous results. Just a quick recap, we assume first omega script A p to be a probability space and script A is a sub-sigma field of the basic sigma field script f. Let us consider x to be a script f measurable function of omega whose integral exists, that is modulus of expectation of x less than equals to infinity. Then we define phi b as integration over b x dp, where b belongs to script A is a restriction of phi to sets of script A. We denote this by phi given script A or phi conditioned on script A. Hence, by Radon-Nikodym theorem, there exists a script f measurable function y which is equals to d phi dp on omega, and this is known as conditional expectation of x given script A, denoted by script expectation of x given script A. So, this is the way we define formally, we define conditional expectation with respect to a probability space. This is a formal definition, and we will use this definition many times in order to prove many theorems. You have already seen that, but we will do again. Now, y is defined by two conditions. We all know that y is script A measurable and integration over b y dp is nothing but integration over b x dp, which is equals to integration over b d phi given script A dp into dp for all b belongs to script A. So, we have defined conditional probability measure, conditional expectation from a probability space. We have already defined in a few previous talks. And we have seen one important theorem which is called additive theorem for conditional expectation, which basically tells us that conditional expectation of a linear combination of two random variables like ax1 plus bx2 is nothing but a times conditional expectation of x1 given f star plus b times conditional expectation of x2 given f star. So, here conditioning event or conditioning sigma field is script f star, and as a consequence or a particular case, if we put a equals to b equals to 1, then this is just the conditional expectation of sum of random variables is nothing but sum of conditional expectation of random variables, provided of course expectation of x1 minus plus x2 minus less than infinity, or expectation of x1 plus x2 plus less than infinity. Otherwise we might face the value to be infinity minus infinity, which actually does not exist. So that is the reason that either one of these should be less than, it must be less than infinity. So we are now going to discuss another theorem for conditional expectation, and here we are thinking to condition on two different sigma fields. Two different sigma fields, but these two sigma fields might be related to each other, but they are two distinct different sigma fields. One might include another. So if we assume that script f1 and script f2 are sigma fields with the relation that f1 is a subset of f2 is a subset of f, that means f1 is the smallest one among these three, and f is the largest one among these three, and x is integrable, that is modulus of expectation of x less than infinity, then expectation of x given script f2 given script f1, that means first takes the conditional expectation of x conditioning on script f2, and then again take another conditional expectation conditioning on another sigma field script f1. This is equals to expectation of x given script f1, and this is exactly same as if we interchange these sigma fields, that is first take expectation of x given f1 and then condition on that expectation condition on f script f2 and again take expectation. So this result is very, very important while dealing with expectations or probabilities and expectation, and sometimes we deliberately introduce one sigma field in order to first calculate a conditional expectation and then conditioning on that, and then we take another sigma field or maybe the whole sigma field to find the expectation. So this might be this is actually a very, very nice technique in evaluating many problems or working out many problems in conditional expectation as well as simple expectations. Suppose sometimes when we are going to calculate expectations, we deliberately introduce one sigma field, conditioning on that sigma field we calculate expectation and then again take the expectation of that. So this is a very nice trick or technique in dealing with problems or results in this area. So let us consider the proof. The proof is extremely simple, and if we remember the definition of conditional expectation, the proof is really, really simple. We know that since the left hand side is ultimately it is conditioning on f1, so this must be f1 measurable, and for b belongs to script f1, we can write integration over b expectation x given script f2 given script f1 dp is nothing but integration over b expectation of x given script f2 dp, which is nothing but integration over b x dp. So if we just remember or understand the definition of conditional expectation, this first part of this equality is just a one-line proof. Now again, expectation of x given script f1 is f1 measurable. Obviously this is conditioning on f1, so this is script f1 measurable. Now script f1 is a subset of script f2, so definitely expectation of x given script f1 is again script f2 measurable. So again recalling the definition of conditional expectation and just exactly proceeding similarly as in case of the first part of the equality, the second part of equality will follow immediately. Another theorem which is, so this theorem, in this theorem we start to deal with conditional expectation not only for a particular variable but conditional expectation of a sequence of random variables. So till now we have considered only one or two random variables, or maybe at most a finite number of random variables, and with respect to those random variables we have considered conditional expectation. But now we are going to have a theorem or a very, very interesting result with respect to conditional expectation of a sequence of random variables. So, the first such theorem we are describing is nothing but monotone convergence theorem for conditional expectation. That means this theorem is the analogous version of the standard monotone convergence theorem, and naturally it should involve a sequence of random variables. So, let us suppose that xn n greater than equals to 1 is a sequence of random variables and f star is a sigma field. First, assume that xn greater than equals to zn, n greater than equals to 1 and expectation of z greater than minus infinity. Now, if xn converges to x, so that means xn increases to x almost surely, then expectation of xn given f star also increases to expectation of x given f star almost surely, or in other words, expectation of xn given y equals to small y increases to expectation of x given capital Y equals to small y almost surely. So, there is a monotonic concept both in the condition as well as the statement of the theorem. So, this involves whether expectation of a sequence of random variables conditioning on a particular sigma field increases to the conditional expectation on a random variable provided the sequence xn increases to that particular random variable almost everywhere. Naturally, from here we can also move on to stating another theorem, which is limit n goes to infinity lim inferior expectation of xn given f star, which is greater than equals to lim n goes to infinity xn given script f star. That means as if this expectation notation is coming outside this lim inf, and we know that if we just omit this conditional expectation, this is nothing but the Fatou's lemma. So, this can be said that this is a Fatou's lemma or version of Fatou's lemma for conditional expectation, and we all know that how important Fatou's lemma is in probability theory, especially while dealing with sequence of random variables, and in order to show convergence related results for a sequence of random variables, this Fatou's lemma is extremely important. And another version of this statement is with respect to a random variable or rather expectation of xn given y equals to small y. This is exactly the same as the way we stated the original Fatou's lemma for conditional expectation. Now, since we see, for the moment let us assume that these two theorems, I will prove it, I will prove one of them. These two theorems are true and they can be proved. So, naturally one might be optimistic in assuming that probably dominated convergence theorem, or one can give another version of dominated convergence theorem for conditional expectation, and in fact this is true. So, first assume that expectation xn less than equals to zn for n greater than equals to 1, expectation of z less than infinity, then like monotone convergence theorem, we can immediately have xn decreases to x. If xn decreases to x almost surely, then expectation of xn given f star decreases to expectation of x given f star almost surely, or expectation of xn given y equals to small y decreases to expectation of x given y equals to small y almost surely. And so this is basically another version of monotone convergence theorem, and again we can give Fatou's lemma for conditional expectation with respect to lim sup, or the same way that we have given lim inf. So, next comes dominated convergence theorem, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Assume that xn is less than equals to zn n greater than equals to 1 and expectation of z less than infinity. Then suppose xn is a sequence of random variables and f star is a sigma field. If xn converges to x almost surely, note that here we are not considering whether it increases or decreases. We are only considering the convergence, whether the convergence happens almost surely. So, if xn converges to x almost surely, modulus of mod of xn less than equals to mod z almost surely for n greater than equals to 1, then expectation of xn given f star converges to expectation of x given f star almost surely, and similarly we can say that expectation of xn given y equals to small y converges to expectation of x given y equals to small y almost surely. So here xn, the sequence of random variables, is dominated by mod z almost surely. That is why it is called dominated convergence theorem for conditional expectation. Now we are going to prove a part, that is monotone convergence theorem. Here naturally we will use the definition of conditional expectation and also the monotone convergence theorem, the ordinary monotone convergence theorem, not necessarily not with respect to conditional expectation. That is what we are going to prove. So we'll start with the fact that 0 less than equals to xn plus means the positive part of random variable xn increases to x plus, and integration over a xn plus dp is nothing but integration over a expectation of xn plus given f star dp. A belongs to f star. So this is the definition of conditional expectation. Now using monotone property of conditional expectation, we can immediately see that expectation of xn plus given f star increases to some function, let us say h, which is a f star measurable function. Now since we know that this increases to h, we can immediately apply the ordinary monotone convergence theorem to get integration over a xn plus dp equals to integration over a h of dp. Actually this equals to in the sense of limit, or in other words we can say integration over a xn plus dp converges to integration over a h dp. Since h is f star measurable function, then h must be equals to expectation of x plus given f star almost surely. Also proceeding exactly similarly, we can immediately say that if we know that 0 less than equals to xn minus less than equals to z minus, which is again integrable, z minus is integrable, then we can immediately say, just like the previous one, expectation of xn minus given f star converges to expectation of x minus given f star. Note that this is very important, x minus is integrable. Then we have expectation of xn given f star equals to expectation of xn plus given f star minus expectation of xn minus given f star, because we know xn can be written as xn plus minus xn minus. This converges to expectation of x plus given f star, that means expectation of xn plus given f star converges to expectation of x plus given f star, and expectation of xn minus given f star converges to expectation of x minus given f star. And since expectation of x minus given f star is integrable, that means modulus of this quantity is finite, then this right hand side is nothing but expectation of x given f star. So this is proof of monotone convergence theorem. So the only trick is that we have used a standard representation of a sequence of random variables in terms of positive part and negative part. We have used the definition of conditional expectation that we have already defined, and we have used ordinary monotone convergence theorem and in order to prove the monotone convergence theorem for conditional probability. So naturally proceeding exactly similarly, we can prove Fatou's lemma, we can also prove dominated convergence theorem. Only thing is that we have to apply ordinary dominated convergence theorem or ordinary Fatou's lemma in the respective situations. Now we will just state one theorem which we call Jensen's inequality for conditional expectation. This, everyone knows that Jensen's inequality is extremely important in real analysis, in calculus, and also in probability theory, in terms, because this is related to expectations and a convex function. So we are trying to give a version of Jensen's inequality for conditional expectation. So first assume that expectation of mod x less than infinity, expectation of mod y less than infinity. That means our life is very simple. Both are integrable. Those are less than, both are finite, and g be a real valued continuous convex function. This is very important, that we are considering a continuous real valued and convex function on the real line, such that expectation of g plus y is less than infinity. Now, if x equals to expectation of y given f star, or g is non-decreasing with x less than equals to expectation of y given f star almost surely, then gx is less than equals to expectation of gy almost surely. In particular, it can be shown that in a particular situation of this is nothing but expectation of g of x given f star is less than equals to g of expectation of x given f star. So, we know that if we remove this, if we omit this conditioning on f star, what we get is nothing but the Jensen's inequality or ordinary Jensen's inequality, but here conditioning on a particular sigma field, we get the Jensen's inequality for conditional expectations. The same kind of inequality still holds. So, we can use them in many situations in evaluating or working out many problems or results, theorems in probability theory and expectation, especially in conditional expectation and maybe in stochastic processes. So, from today's discussion, it is really interesting to see that conditional expectation is really powerful, and now we can say that this is basically very easy to understand, because we have already derived couple of important theorems like Morton convergence theorem, dominator convergence theorem, and also Fatou's lemma using conditional expectation. That means replacing original or marginal simple expectation by conditional expectation, obviously with respect to a particular sigma field. So, this gives us a huge opportunity to deal with conditional expectations and also to deal with a sequence of random variables with respect to conditional expectation, and this can be helpful in proving many results in probability theory.